Hello, and welcome back to episode 9 of the Married with Media podcast. I am your host, Michelle.
Now I'm your co-host, Ken.
Yeah.
And we're here for episode 9 again.
Yes. If only the people knew how hard it was to record these. It definitely feels like the universe is like trying to tell us that we need to just give up.
To leave. Go somewhere else.
We either, in total transparency, we either have some kind of, technological issue. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Technological. Technology issue, usually like with the mic. Or we start arguing and then I can't continue. It's hard for me to.
We don't have to tell the people that. Then we'll get you guys should divorce.
Yeah.
Comments.
If I could also if I could count how many times people say we should get divorced. It feels like a lot, but anyway, yeah, it's been quite the struggle. We missed last week. Because of a technical issue.
You know what I always interpret the you guys should get divorced comments as? They're hitting on you. That's what I interpret them as.
No, that's totally not what it means. It just means that they picked up on our...
I think that's what it means.
And no. But yeah, so last week it was a sound issue. Our mic was apparently working, but like something...
I know, StreamYard, they got you by the balls because it's like the only game in town. Like there's other ones, but they just don't I don't think they work well at all.
Yeah.
StreamYard does funny crap like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this because I'll go live and it won't have like a people counter up at the top like usually.
Oh, yeah.
It just does weird
it has
stuff
glitches
sometimes.
And stuff. Yeah, so without going on too long about that, we had a sound issue and we just didn't, we've put out poor sounding, quality videos before, but it's like if you are listening to this on a podcast platform, you need it to sound good, or it's just you're not going to want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I know of a bigger podcast channel and they had traveled to do an episode, and so for whatever reason they realized that the episode did not sound good after, and they still put it out, but I couldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
It was just so terrible that I'm well, I'm gonna miss this episode because
yeah.
But anyway, that's a little side rant. And then we didn't want to miss again, but we were struggling with just filling it, I guess. We just weren't vibing. When I'm ready to film, Ken's not. And vice versa, and so that's just always been something that we struggle with, just being on the same page, the same mindset. That's just something that's difficult when there's two people involved. So anyway, we are here though for episode 9, and we are going to talk about, we might do a little catch up of some stuff that we've been watching, and then we've got some news for you today. So
okay,
yeah,
sounds like a good time.
Yeah. So before we get started though, make sure you like this video, this podcast, leave a review, leave a comment,
share it
wherever, whatever platform you're listening to this. Yeah, we appreciate it as always. And yeah. Okay, so let's get started here. And whenever we have to refilm something, it's just always very annoying because it's I feel like we've already had this conversation.
Yeah. Sometimes though that it could actually come out better.
Well, yeah.
And I don't really think the podcast we filmed Monday was very good.
It wasn't.
So sometimes it can work out and be better. I can't tell you how many times you think I just do this on our channel. There's so many times I get to the 20-minute mark in a review.
Yeah.
And I realize my mic's not plugged in. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll have to refilm it and I get super annoyed. But then sometimes the review just comes out better.
Yeah.
On the second try. Yeah. So who knows?
But okay, so I did just want to quickly talk about the White Lotus again. And
Okay.
I say again because
I already forget what we talked about. So.
we did try to talk about this already. But we'll just pretend that didn't happen. So yeah, any White Lotus fans out there, it's on HBO. It just concluded its third season. And yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed it, and I'm still, even now. It's been, well, heck, at this point, it's been almost 2 weeks
Yeah,
since the finale.
We watched it Sunday night.
Yeah, well, that's when it comes out. So we will not have our White Lotus this Sunday, which is a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. As far as the finale,
We will have The Last of Us though.
does that come out Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But that's another topic.
I at least want to watch the first episode.
That's another topic. But yeah, I feel like as far as the finale goes, I'm still not quite sure that I completely liked the way that it went. We kind of talked about how it just felt a little out of character. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was just something about it. It just felt like they were kind of like going for some wow factor, but it just didn't like fit the.
I feel like they went a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything like that if you haven't seen it. But
like specifically with I can't even think of their name. The couple, was it Rick and
Walton Goggins and the teeth girl?
Well, I think his name is Rick.
Rick, okay.
I think. Yeah, the couple, they were, she was much younger than him, and he's playing this just very wounded man.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like one of those I can fix you girls. And
I'm not even sure I quite liked his whole arc.
Right.
Like for when they finally revealed like what he was doing, I found it to be like so much more like uninteresting than when I didn't know very much about him.
Right.
And why he was the way he was.
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't find him very compelling after that big.
I really like that actor.
Oh yeah, Walton Goggins is one of the greatest TV actors ever. Like he's done so much TV.
Yeah. So yeah, just like specifically with them, like what happened with them, it just felt like pretty extreme, which the show does, like, it can go there, but it just didn't completely work for me. And then I just wanted to quickly talk about if you had any favorites from the show, because this is a very like character driven show.
Yeah.
And there's just always some like really interesting people, and it's kind of this, show kind of it basically takes place over a week at this, exotic resort or whatever. They change it every season. But you essentially meet this group of people, and as the episodes go, you obviously learn more and more about these people.
Yeah.
Which is like, I guess, how every show
and
movie.
I mean, the show does something interesting. They do it pretty much every season. Well, they'll set up like 3 or 4 different camps of people and characters, and they don't like really cross paths. Like they do,
and they don't.
But they don't.
It's usually pretty minimal.
And you would think that you're going to bring all these people together, and then they're going to interact, and they're going to have to do with each other, but they don't really for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Like you had Jason Isaac and Walton Goggins interact a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, the women. How could you forget about your favorite scene?
Yeah. I did say that.
Yeah. So, anyway, I just wanted to quickly talk about that, and we'll wrap it up without going on about this too long. But I think for the most part, I really enjoyed the family, the Rich family. Parker Posey was just like unintentionally hilarious. Like her character is not trying to be funny. Like it's just the character she's playing.
Yeah.
But like,
well, she's hamming it up a little bit.
She's hamming it up, yeah. But it's like they're like this Southern wealthy family, and yeah, Parker Posey, she's like a pill popper basically, and she's just fantastic in it. And I told you this before too. Going into this season, I really didn't want to like her because she kind of got wrapped up in the Blake and Justin drama.
Yeah.
Because she was like in an interview with Blake, and it was like a much older interview, but it's essentially the interview that like started this whole big like Blake hate train or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they were both being like mean girls in the interview. So anyway, I really didn't want to like her, but I did. She got me.
I mean, Parker she's a born mean girl. She was in Dazed and Confused back in 1993, telling these cheerleaders to get on the ground, freaking spraying mustard and ketchup all over them. So that's what she is at heart.
Yeah. So she was great.
Yeah, this is definitely. I think that this role is going to get her a lot more roles. I feel like this is like almost her breakout. Like she's been acting for 30, 40 years, but I feel like this role is her breakout role.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Kind of like, Breaking Bad with Bryan Cranston and stuff. People just have their, like they can act for 30, 40 years, but then they have the role that kind of makes them a star. And this was kind of her role, I think. So I think you'll see her in a lot more stuff going forward.
Right. I just really enjoyed the family dynamic. You've got the mom and dad and then the 3 kids, and again, like I said, they're wealthy, so like 3 spoiled kids for the most part.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs plays the dad.
He was great too. He had to like really like get a little dark.
Yeah, it gets extremely dark.
It does, yeah.
Very dark.
Yeah.
And then one of the sons is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
Patrick
Schwarzenegger. Yeah. And he was also very good. The whole family was good. They were all good.
Yeah. And then, it's I feel like I could do a whole like episode on it, but it's like it's over and done now, so I feel like nobody wants to talk about it anymore. But I did also enjoy the 3 ladies. It was just like your typical drama-filled relationships between these 3 women. But the 3 women, I mean, they were just like killer cast. We had Carrie Coon, who I love. I mean, I feel like I've loved her ever since The Leftovers, which was another HBO show. And then, you got Michelle, is it Monaghan?
Moynihan, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's either Monahan or Moynihan.
Okay, yeah, which I really like her too.
Ever since the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
She was in that.
Yeah, and of course I like her because her name's Michelle, like me. So. Yeah. And then, what's her name? Leslie Bibb.
Leslie Bibb.
From
Talladega Nights fame. Yeah. Also in Trick or Treats in the opening segments.
Yeah.
So, but she's been in a lot of other stuff.
But yeah, they were, I enjoyed their cast too. Lots of like tension and just like, unfortunately, relatability, just being a woman and just kind of like that.
They really dive into the whole like gossip and gossiping about each other behind each other's backs and that kind of thing, which guys do too.
Right. But I do just want to quickly say in the finale, Carrie Coon delivered like a speech, I guess. And like it was so good. And I hear other people talking about it. It was so good. Like I literally was almost moved to tears. I thought it was fantastic. And I don't know if this is, I don't know if I read this right, but I'm pretty sure they said that she like improvised that whole thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why you get a Carrie Coon. Like she can deliver like a fantastic performance when needed. So
so very heart touching, yeah. Heartwarming, whatever. But yeah, check out The White Lotus if you haven't seen it yet. There's 3 seasons to binge on HBO. I think it's a great, what would you call it? Like what kind of genre? Is it like?
It's a drama.
Drama?
You know, I would say drama.
Yeah.
I wanted to briefly talk about The Studio. Because God. I watched the first 3 episodes of The Studio with
got
Seth
nothing
Rogen.
to say, unfortunately.
And well, you watched like half of the first episode.
Not really.
I'm really.
I'll say quickly why before you go on. I'll say I don't like the type of shows that are like you're like the like camera shots. What do you call that?
Yeah, and it's almost like POV over the shoulder kind of stuff.
It's just so like quick and hectic.
They're trying to do one takes, but they're not really one takes because you can see the edits, but they're doing a lot of like flashing to the left, to the right.
Yeah, I
zoom in, zoom out, like stuff like that.
I can't do it.
So it's very like frantically directed.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Like it's extremely over the top. It's a little silly, a little goofy. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's basically a commentary on how like stupid Hollywood is and how they're green lighting all these properties that honestly, like, I mean, it's. you think a Kool-Aid Man movie, on the surface, that's a dumb idea, but then you're like, a Minecraft movie just made $160 million at the box office. Maybe that's not that crazy.
Well,
A
I don't
Barbie
know.
movie made a bunch of money. Like maybe it's not, out of the realm of possibility for a Kool-Aid movie to open up to $100 million.
Well, as
Um,
the part I did see, I forget what character it was, but he was like, oh, it was the elf from the Santa Claus.
oh
His
yeah.
character was like, "You can f Barbie, you can't f the Kool Aid Man." Or
Uh,
he said, "People want to f Barbie. Who wants to f the Kool Aid Man?"
yeah, but it's Seth Rogen's like, he falls into being the studio exec because the woman gets fired, and the woman's actually played by Catherine O'Hara. I think you missed it when she
No,
came
I
on.
saw her. I saw her.
Um, but yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It's stupid, like silly fun, but it is like really over the top. But also you can
Did you say
like,
it was on Apple?
yeah, you
Okay.
can also see this stuff like happening. Like the third episode was with Ron Howard, and he made a movie it was basically a commentary on like movies just being too long.
Yeah.
And his movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and they were like, "This is the perfect movie." They thought it was over. Then it went on for 45 more minutes, and he had to give him that note to say it was too long, and he
Yeah.
didn't want to do it because he was scared of Ron Howard. So I don't know. It's just funny, like situational stuff. And I enjoyed it because there's just a lot of movie references throughout too, and
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I told you, I'm like, okay, if they know this stuff, then why do they keep doing it? Like, if they can make fun of it, they know that it's like an issue and
well,
ridiculous. Like, let's fix it, okay?
yeah, well, I mean, it's written by Seth Rogen. I think it's also some of the episodes are directed by Seth Rogen too. It's
Yeah.
through Apple, so I don't know like how much actual Hollywood has to do with it.
Mm.
So I
Well,
don't know,
maybe it'll,
but I'm
bring
enjoying it so
bring
far.
some light
I know
to it.
episode 4 is out, but I'm gonna wait till they build up a little bit, then I'll probably binge the next 3 or something.
Gotcha.
Um, but
Um,
did you want to talk about Black Mirror at all? Because we
yeah,
did start that.
maybe we'll talk about that last. I mean, like that'll be the last thing.
Okay, if
Yeah.
you want to.
Before we make this too long, before we lose anyone here. Yeah, Black Mirror. What season is this?
This is season 7.
Season 7 on Netflix. We've been long time supporters of Black
Oh,
Mirror.
I think we got in on Black Mirror like pretty much at the ground floor. I feel like we've been watching it since 2013 or something.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the first 2 seasons on Netflix,
Yeah.
and then I think a year or so later, the 3rd season dropped.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
we've been watching it since the beginning.
Black Mirror, it just came out on Thursday on Netflix, and I knew, let's binge this. Unfortunately, there usually aren't a ton of episodes. I think this season has 6. Was it 6 or
It does have 6.
6? Okay, yeah, it has 6. So kind of a bummer. But like we actually haven't finished this episode yet. But it's almost like the length of a full movie. It's like an hour and 17 minutes or something. And so far, unfortunately, it's been my least favorite.
Yeah.
It's
way
the
too long.
3rd one that we've seen. But anyway, I just really enjoy Black Mirror because it's what do you call it? Anthology.
It's anthology, so every episode's different.
Yep.
And
everything is usually related to like technology, and like they're usually like sci-fi, which is like my jam.
Yeah.
I just love all the little just the stories that they come up with dealing with like like if like we could ever get to these points of like technology and stuff, just like a lot of it is like pretty disturbing. Once you like, they get into just like kind of what can go wrong, and stuff like that. So anyway, they're usually all very entertaining. Obviously some episodes are better than others, but yeah, I don't know. I think so far out of the first 3 episodes, episode 1 was my favorite.
Yeah, that was probably. I mean, I liked episode 2 is okay.
Not that there's been a ton of competition, really. I feel like episode 2 was just okay. Episode 3 is just like really not doing
I feel
it
like
for
with
me.
episode 2, like when they finally get to the reveal of what's going on, I feel like you could have done so much more with that.
Yeah.
With that premise, that could have been like way more interesting.
Yeah.
And they don't do any of that like throughout the show.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the point. The first one was good. It's basically a commentary on subscription services.
That's what I was gonna say. We were just like sitting there, and I'm like laughing because,
Which it feels like they always make fun of subscription services. Like they did that the first episode of last season.
Yeah.
With they're like, I think it's called Streamberry or something. That's
Yeah.
their streaming service. I forget who was in that, but it was basically like they were getting this actress. They were using this actress likeness to make new movies with her or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember that one.
Yeah, but that was the first episode, so
yeah,
commenting on that.
I'm excited to keep watching. We just need to finish up this episode. I think we have like 15, 20 minutes left, maybe.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can watch.
I'm just hoping they get a little better because there hasn't been like a banger yet, in my opinion. And people can say what they want about season 6. I'm a big fan of season 6. I thought they were all really good. And some of them I thought were great. Like the space one with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett, I thought was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I like the last one with the little demon person.
See, I can't remember all of them.
Or it was like a... it was the devil. Like the devil came to Earth or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I get it that they weren't like, and then there was the one about they were making the documentary. Like I thought that one was really good.
Yeah.
I thought the last one had like a lot of good ones, but the problem was with a lot of people is people feel like they veered away from the technology.
Yeah, that's usually been like their thing, like their niche, like they just like always incorporate.
There was like a werewolf one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always like super technological.
Oh yeah, the werewolf one, it had that like diner and stuff. Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, it was like I was okay giving that up if I'm gonna get like good episodes.
Yeah.
Like because I just thought they were all like really good episodes. I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the best of both worlds with those anthology TV shows because it's like, it just like switches it up and it's a little bit shorter than like a movie.
Yeah.
And so it feels like an easier watch,
But at the end of the day, like there's only so much stuff you can commentate on.
Right.
Like with technology.
That's true.
It's like before it starts to get repetitive. So that's why I appreciated them like move into different territory.
Yeah. Well, the thing with episode 1 is I was afraid that it was going to be a repeat of like bringing back, like using a robot to basically play a person.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? I thought I was going to kind of go that way, but luckily they put a different
like the one
spin on
with Haley Atwell.
The one where she like gets the husband.
Gleason, I think.
Yeah, which that was a fantastic,
that was a good one.
Like very dark, heartbreaking.
That was one of the best episodes.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Black Mirror. I definitely recommend checking it out. I did do a poll about Black Mirror for just like our audience, like our current subscribers. It seems pretty like split. Like a lot of people aren't interested. There are some that are watching it. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but
I would say if you haven't watched it, like dive in and start watching it. There's episodes that hit and there's episodes that kind of miss, but I think the ones that really like it'll be some of the best like storytelling you've ever seen.
Honestly, do you feel like what season do you feel like is
like
the weakest?
Literally,
is it season 1?
Literally the first episode of season 1, I think, is the one where the guy has to have sex with a pig.
The pig thing? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
I'm not sure if they have
but season 1 has the entire history of you. Like we could talk about like every single episode.
Right.
I feel like and maybe do like a ranking or something at some point.
Yeah.
But season 1 has the entire history of you where the guy like can play back his memories and stuff. And
right.
I don't want to
I would say
the episode, but that was a great episode.
Yeah. I feel like give it a chance. Don't let like a bad episode like deter you from wanting to continue because they're like mixed in there. As you get going, you're going to see like more and more good ones, I feel like. So.
I forget the one that had the black guy from Get Out.
Oh yeah, I don't know what season
Daniel Kaluuya, I think is his name.
Yeah.
And it was called like 500 million demerits or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a really good one, I remember too.
Okay.
And I can't remember if that was in season 1 or season 2.
Yeah. So again, definitely check out Black Mirror on Netflix if you think it might be your jam. But let's get into some movie news.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. There's a lot.
Let me pop this up.
There is a lot.
And change the way we look on here. Let's talk about Minecraft, which we did see and we do have a review up for on the channel.
Yeah. So a Minecraft movie beats Mario Brothers.
Oh, are you okay?
I'm so sad, but it's okay. It has biggest domestic box office debut in history for a video game adaptation. Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I was kind of nervous about it taking the spot of Mario. But it's okay. Me personally, I still enjoyed Mario more, but I am like more, I've played Mario more. I didn't really play Minecraft. It's just more like my kids played it.
yeah.
So anyway, I'm okay with it. I think it's great. But
I
yeah,
mean, this is bringing out the families.
yeah,
I mean, family movies are the ones that are making money right now.
yeah,
It's the kids that are going to keep the theater alive. It's not the older crowd. It's not the cinema enthusiasts. So it makes
right.
sense that this would make a ton of money.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I like you said, we have a review out if you want to check it out. But I feel like as far as like the theater experience goes, which we're going to talk about that here in a second, if you put them in order of how I sent them. I don't know if you did.
I tried to.
But I feel like for the most part, we had like a fun time watching it. Like our daughter was laughing quite a
I,
bit.
I I had said it in a review. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I thought it was
so
better
it
than
was fun.
Mario Brothers. Sorry.
It's okay. I enjoyed both. So
But yeah, and this is a game that's 16 years old.
yeah,
So it's
crazy.
got a large fan base that has people that maybe started playing it when they were 12, 14, and is now 30 something
Well,
by now.
You've said this before, probably in a like episode that we probably in the episode that we recorded and didn't get to put out. But you're talking about how this is like a new, like we need. Well, you kind of just said that we need the new kids now to take over
Yeah,
things that they love, not all our like
I feel
old
like
nostalgia stuff.
the kid, this generation,
Yeah,
they need their own things.
right,
We can't keep going back to Star Wars and comic books that are 70, 80 years
right.
old and Batman and
Yep.
Beetlejuice
I think
and
it's
Mario, who's been around. So, like, these are kids that are coming up now, like, that's their parents,
yeah,
that's their parents' IP or stuff.
yeah.
It's not theirs. Like, this is theirs,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that plays a factor in it as well.
Yep. So
All
way to
right.
go, Minecraft.
Let's see.
So continuing off of that, a Minecraft movie sequel. The discussions are already happening, which
Of
that
course they
that is
are.
no surprise. How much did they end up coming in at for opening weekend?
Oh, it was like 161.
Yeah.
I have no idea where they're at now, but apparently worldwide it was 300 million. So they for sure made their money back.
It'll be interesting to see how they did this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know that. But yeah, I mean, we stayed for the end credit, the like, what do you call it? End credit scene. There's like two. There's like a little small one, and then there's one at the literal very end of it, and they definitely set it up for another one. And so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily like looking forward to another one. I don't know like where
I
they're
am
gonna.
because I'm hoping they do something. Not that the story was bad or anything, but I just hope that they go in a different direction with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do just something like crazy wacky and get like really creative with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can literally do anything in Minecraft.
Hopefully, it doesn't take them like 5 years though to put it out.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this. Chicken jockey.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm doing all the talking. Do you want to do this one, or you want me to keep going?
A Minecraft movie director on Chicken Jockey Theater Chaos. No one's
Well,
gonna get hurt from popcorn.
yeah. So to give a backstory, if you guys haven't heard, there is a scene in the movie where there is a baby zombie on a chicken, and he's like in a wrestling ring.
And I didn't think nothing of it when we were watching it.
He's in a wrestling ring and he's fighting. Who is he fighting? Is it the kid?
Was it Jack Black?
Was it Jack Black? I can't even remember now who was in the ring.
It was Momoa.
It was him? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see there's a little baby zombie on the chicken. And for whatever reason, you know how social media is. It's weird. Random shit like becomes a thing. Becomes like a meme. Like that's like been how it's been forever now with like social media and just like these random things becoming like memes and stuff,
Yeah.
But anyway, they have this, and I still don't get it. I don't entirely get it. So I feel like weird saying this, but like they apparently during that scene, kids that are going to see this movie are just like screaming out chicken jockey, and then everybody in the theater goes ape shit, and they're just like
there's
throwing
footage
popcorn.
of it and everything. Yeah, people are just going nuts.
And I'm not quite sure like how often that's actually happening. That did not happen in our theater.
It's getting a bigger reaction than the freaking portals opening in Endgame or something. Like people are just like flipping their crap.
It's kind of cool though, like that they are getting excited about it. Like,
I mean, to me, that's I know it creates, because everybody gets so weird online nowadays. Everything becomes like a thing for people to argue about.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, people are getting rowdy in the theaters throwing popcorn. What about the people that have to come in and clean that up? And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, because he said no one's going to get hurt from throwing popcorn.
Right.
People are getting upset in the comment section. Well, except for this guy that's got to come in and clean it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody's got to like argue about something. It's like,
yeah.
Jesus.
But I do just want to put it out there that like, I don't condone people like trashing a theater. Like,
yeah, but then it becomes a thing where we're going to talk about the story and you got to make that disclaimer. I don't condone, obviously, like me personally, I'm not going to go in a theater and freaking make a mess for somebody to clean up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's nothing to get like that upset about.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's a whole different topic. But I just more so wanted to talk about how this chicken jockey thing is becoming like this big thing.
Honestly, if it was happening in our theater, like I'd probably be upset and leave.
Yeah, I mean, like if they couldn't like calm down and chill out, like I want to be able to watch the movie.
Maybe if it was my second time watching it or something.
Right. Yeah.
But
I think it's great that people are like having fun. I mean, it's not like they're going in there like shooting up a theater or something. Like it's great that they're like having fun with it. Again, like you said, I'm not quite sure if I would like being a 37-year-old. I'm not sure if I would like enjoy them doing that while I'm trying to watch the movie. But like also that's not for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like when you go see a Pixar movie getting upset about babies crying,
right?
Or something like that. Like it's for the kids or kids,
right? Like I couldn't really get mad at it because like you said, I mean, it is pretty much a kid movie. So anyway, I think it's kind of funny, but yeah, like you said, I guess he's saying, I guess people are like you said, how it gets kind of just like gets strewed and becomes this much bigger thing where they're like blaming the director for this happening.
Yeah, like so he's condoning it. Yeah. Like in his mind, he's probably like, well, this is like making more attention for the movie. More people are going to see it. And I'm sure some of those kids, because it's like almost like a party or something.
Right.
They're going back to the theater again, like repeat viewings and stuff like that. That's why I'm so interested to see like what it does this weekend. But everybody's just, you did say that. But everybody's so like charged right now.
Yeah.
Like because politics, all that crap, that they're just willing to fight about anything.
Yeah.
And I just get so sick of it.
It's like they can't take something that's like fun and just enjoy it, and then it's like they just have to find something to
like I get it. It's annoying, but at the same time, it's also cool that people are getting excited about going to the theater and seeing a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's just, this has been like the worst year for the box office since 2020 or something.
Right.
And now it has a chance to come back with Minecraft movie, and they have a good experience with this movie. Maybe they'll want to go see the Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four or Superman, which had like a 10-minute preview in front of this. So
yeah,
you got people hyped up for the summer movie season.
Yeah, which I am one of those people. A good thing. I just want to quickly say though, again, I do like understand though about like trashing the theater, like that's not okay to me. Like it, but like let's also be real. They don't do a good job at cleaning the theater anyway. No. At least not out here where we are.
Maybe the theater should buy a few brooms and have them set up, and then they can clean up their mess when they get done.
Right. I say if you're going to do that, great, have fun, but like try to clean up your mess as well. Like it'll be okay if you leave a few popcorn, kernels on the ground, but like let's not be like throwing soda and shit or something.
Yeah, I guess that's not cool. But still, anyway. It's enthusiasm for the
chicken
theater.
Chicken jockey. Oh my god!
Like I want to go back. I just want to go watch it so I can do it myself.
I know, right? Like, let's go. Let's go.
I will be the only ones in the theater doing it.
and we'll get
Like,
kicked
what the
out.
hell's going on?
Yeah, so I clicked this one because I feel like you're like probably over it now, but you were like very passionate about this when it first
For a
like
little bit, yeah.
speaking of
Because
like
again, it's just people arguing about everything. It's like,
speaking
what?
about the negativity on the internet and just complaining about everything. Yeah, Ken had a lot to say about this, so I'm gonna let you take this one over.
Nintendo justifies Mario Kart World's $80 price. This is a game that is so big and so vast. So, in my world where I'm in right now, we talk about movies, we talk about the prices for 4K steelbooks and editions and things like that. People are getting upset about the rising prices and things like that. And we've been dealing with that for a long time. Video games have literally been $60 to $70 for like the past 40 years. And it's like, so they're going to raise this one game. It's just this one game. Like Donkey Kong, they also announced it's $70. This one game is going to be $80, dollars. And everybody's just flipping out over it,
right?
Wanting to boycott Nintendo. And it's the price of the console and all that stuff as well. But it's just like, I remember paying 60, like there's images of 64 games being $70. Some of them.
Well, okay.
And that was back in the 90s. So it's like inflation has literally not hit video games at all.
Right.
Until this one game.
Yeah.
And now everybody's
it's funny
flipping
because
out.
Now that you're saying that, which you might like essentially be saying this already, but it's just like clicking for me. So like, the people who play video games, like let's just say that they're not like in the community of like buying physical media. And so like you're used to physical media like having gone up in price, but like you said, the video games haven't gone up in price for a long time. And so to them, I guess it does seem like a shock because they're like, well, damn, what is this? Because they're not used to it.
And also this is the opening retail price, in a couple months you may be able to get it used or something like that. Well, I mean, even though the used game industry is like is taking massive hits because everything's going more digital.
Yeah.
So people are not owning the actual physical copy, so they can't sell the actual physical copy.
Right.
But it'll still be discounted on Amazon. It'll go down to like $60, to be on Walmart in a sale. Like it's like you can always pick this stuff up for cheaper later on. I just don't get why people flip out so much.
Yeah.
Over this kind of thing. And this game it looks very like expansive and very ambitious in what it's doing. But yeah, it's literally one game that increased $10 in price and everybody's going nuts over it. And I think it's just because like everything else has increased. So people it's just another thing that's increasing. So it's almost like the final straw or something.
Yeah. It's kind of like, give me a break.
Yeah. Which I get that. But also like
you definitely get it.
largely like media in general, like even with what I talk about, prices haven't really gone up that much either. Like people used to pay back when VHS first came out, like $80 to $90 for a VHS tape. Like people talk about paying $50, $60 for laser discs or $80 for a laser disc. So like the fact that we're paying $30 to $40 for a 4K and a 4K steelbook now, like that's not really bad, especially when it's the best quality it's ever been as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just people get hyped up and overreact. And like I said, I'm just sick of it.
Yeah. I'll just quickly say, obviously I'm a Nintendo fan all the way. I'm very excited for this new game. I'm excited for the Donkey Kong game. We are planning to go to Universal this winter. And they've just opened up the Nintendo World area at Universal. And I mean, when I tell you that I will probably cry,
Nintendo's the shit.
Like when I see it, like it's so and like Universal has like all this other new stuff. Like they have their whole like Universal Monsters area now, which I think you're gonna really like the classic monsters, Frankenstein and Dracula and stuff. Like it looks really cool. But like I follow someone who like lives down there and like goes to the parks and covers all that stuff, and like I refuse to watch those videos because I want to be like just wowed when I get there. So anyway, I'm excited for those games. I know that there is a lot of talk too about like the tariffs and stuff and how it's going to
That's a whole other thing, which I don't even know if you clipped that story, but there's like a big story going on with China and movies and how they're like not going to allow.
Well, they're talking about like banning. Yeah.
So that could definitely impact the industry because China sometimes is a very large percentage of some movies box office.
Yeah.
Like in some cases, like the Venom movies, like I'm pretty sure China's like a huge portion of why those movies are even successful. But But we're not here to talk about that. I've been trying to stay away from that topic on my channel just because again it just inspires
political
barking back and forth and all that stuff. All right, let's move on to a Marvel story.
Yeah. So how do you say his name?
I don't know.
Simu
Lu.
Yeah. Which is that guy right there in the middle. Which I like him. So
what is it? Shang-Chi? Yeah, Shang-Chi.
You saw it, didn't you?
Shang-Chi?
Didn't you see that?
I did see it.
Didn't you like it?
I did like it, but I haven't thought about it since.
I didn't watch that one. So he said, we've had like some Marvel announcements and stuff here recently. We were going to cover like a lot of the CinemaCon stuff that went down, but that was the episode that we had to scratch. So anyway, he says Marvel doesn't tell cast anything anymore because Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo ruined it for all of us. And so I don't know if he said, I think he probably said this in kind of like a joking, lovingly way. I can't see him like saying that nasty or anything. Yeah. But I don't know too much about Mark Ruffalo, but apparently Tom Holland had pretty much spoiled how he
they were notorious for going on like late night shows and talk shows and spoiling stuff they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, apparently back was it Endgame where he disappears? Yeah, apparently he had essentially spoiled that he was one that got snapped away. And I don't even remember
people even know that, like, because we didn't even know what the ending was going to be to Infinity War.
No, but like I don't think he said snapped away, but he essentially like insinuated that he something like that happened. I don't know, like you'll have to, if somebody knows in the comments, let me know. But yeah, apparently Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland have been known for like essentially spoiling, I guess, big plots in the Marvel movies, and so I just thought it was kind of funny. Where I guess they just try to keep it on lockdown now.
Yeah, don't let them know
what goes on.
Don't let them spoil all our nothing plans.
Right.
All right. Robert Pattinson is reportedly being considered for a new role in Dune 3.
Yeah.
Also known as Dune Messiah.
Also known as,
I think is what it's called.
Boring.
Boring. Even Pattinson, that's a boring look.
He looks scared. He's like, bad idea.
Do I actually want to do this?
Yeah, I love Robert Pattinson. Don't love Dune, but that's okay. I know a lot of people do.
Well, he may not be doing Batman. That was another story that we kind of missed, but people are.
He said he's getting too old.
Well, and people are starting to speculate whether or not it's actually going to happen because it's been so long. There's not even a script turned in, and then you got James Gunn with this whole new universe. There's going to be a new Batman in there, so it's like, are they going to need Pattinson as Batman? But maybe they'll use Pattinson in their universe. I don't know.
I'm fine with no Batman too.
Yeah, honestly, I am too.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was way overhyped. It was okay.
Yeah.
But all right, there you go. We'll let you handle this one.
Okay, so this would be kind of fun for us to talk about. Emma Corrin, which that's her name. The girl with the dark hair, right?
Yep.
Which she is in the episode of Black Mirror that we are currently trying to finish, which I feel like she's like really popping up.
She was the villain in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
one of the villains.
We saw her in something else too. Okay, so her, Jack Lowden, which I don't know who that is, and Olivia Colman is to star in Netflix's Pride and Prejudice. It's going to be like a mini series or something.
Of course it is.
And so I say this to you, which I know that I've brought this up before, but I really want to watch Pride and Prejudice together.
With Tom from Succession?
Tom from Succession.
Who was also in Deadpool and Wolverine.
And who's in it? Keira Knightley?
Keira Knightley.
I really want to see that. I just like it's like one of those kind of just, I feel like very popular, iconic movies. I feel like you just see it a lot.
Can we watch Pride and Prejudice and Zombies instead?
No.
I gotta wait for a 4K to come out, so I have a reason to watch it.
No.
Okay.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you weren't gonna watch it with me, I was gonna watch it by myself. But I thought that we should watch it together because it's just like a very like romantic.
I'll watch it, but like I'm. There was a time where I was into like the romantic period piece stuff, and now it's just like I'm not. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I get all of my fill of romance from you,
Wow,
and
nice save there.
that's all I need.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen, people, when your person asks you to watch a movie with them,
because
you
I
just
used to
do it.
love. I mean, I would still probably stop, but I used to love La La Land, and it's like I just have no desire to rewatch that movie
Oh wow.
ever.
Okay.
So I don't know
Are you
what's going
trying to like
on.
turn this into
I'm like
a
getting harder, I guess. I need to get softer.
that's kind of disturbing. You're getting harder? Okay.
I don't mean it like that. God.
Okay, let's turn this around before you like annoy me.
Maybe I just need to have a day where I watch nothing but those kind of movies. Maybe it'll bring me back to
I think like usually the older you get, you start to like those corny. I thought that that's how it
I
worked.
thought it was too.
Right? You get older, you like Hallmark and shit.
I thought I was on that track.
Yeah, I did
I thought I
too.
was going to be watching Hallmark by the time I was 45. But it feels like I'm going in the opposite direction.
Why?
I just want to watch more like 80s action. I watched Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, that will never be me.
And
So.
I loved it.
Okay. Anyway, what else we got here?
Bam.
Yeah, The Last of Us has already been confirmed for season 3, even though season 2 has not even been out yet.
I mean, I think there was always going to be a season 3.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, you've heard us talk about this quite a bit. We don't love The Last of Us. It's kind of unfortunate because you know, the actress that plays what's her name?
I don't remember.
What's the character's name?
That's Ellie, isn't it?
Is it Ellie?
I think.
Is it?
It's our daughter's name.
Well, obviously that's easy to remember, but I just can't remember what her name is. The actress that plays her, you know, she was like this very she just played this like kid in Game of Thrones, and she was just like a very like no shit taker.
I forget her name in Game of Thrones. She was great on Game of Thrones.
Lady something. Yeah, she was like pretty young though in it. But anyway, she was like very, you know, iconic or whatever in Game of Thrones. But then, you know, she is in this show now, and I just like despise her. I just can't stand her. I did not
I don't
play.
think she's very good at playing vulnerable.
Well, I just like I didn't play the game, and so I don't know if that's why I'm just not vibing with it.
If she was a badass, like talking shit to Pedro Pascal like the whole time, like that it would be better.
Yeah.
And maybe she did. Did she? I feel like that. I mean, there was a little animosity.
Oh yeah, yeah. They didn't. That was another thing. I had a problem with just like, you know, he like lost his real daughter, and then he like finds her, and so obviously it's just like this natural thing where he like that's his new daughter now, and I just like
I felt like the chemistry was better between him and the actress that played his daughter.
Right. I just like couldn't buy that relationship with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like her.
But there's something like massive that happens in season 2, and I'm just so curious like how they're going to play it out.
Yeah.
And how they're going to do it.
I know you've been talking about that.
It may not happen until the end of season 2, because from what I've heard, season 2 and season 3 are going to basically be the second game.
Yeah.
And so they're just like splitting it in 2.
You know, we are getting some like new characters in this season. You know, a lot of like good people. I mean, Catherine O'Hara is even joining. Yeah.
I kind of want to watch it just to see if they can up the zombie, because I remember that was one of the reasons I wasn't into it, because they had a couple of set pieces, but it didn't feel like there was a lot of like, you know, zombie action. And I felt like it was kind of like that in the beginning. Then they let off the gas.
Well, it's not really zombies. It's like
fungus people.
Plant head.
It's a fungus. Yeah. It's not a plant.
Yeah. All right.
Fungus. Apparently that could actually happen. Okay. Mike White, the White Lotus composer, didn't respect me and treated me like a chimp.
Yeah. So, you know, we started out talking about the White Lotus earlier. But if you don't know this, the White Lotus, each season they have just like this very catchy, iconic theme song.
I mean, no disrespect to the show, but like the show would literally be nothing without the music.
Well, not nothing, but yeah,
like it's so good and creative.
It's very good. And so anyway, we are losing the composer who's done all 3 seasons. Apparently there was some conflict between him and Mike White, the creator. And Yeah, I don't know. I heard like a little clip of Mike White on a podcast or something, and he was just talking about like something that the composer said, and he was just like, I didn't really know that he was like that upset. He was like, but you know, it seems like he's kind of like, oh well.
It's funny because you can see that conversation happening or that animosity building behind the scenes because like when the show first comes out, obviously it's a well acted, well written show, but also I feel like the music took over the conversation for a lot of people, and that became like a big aspect of it.
Do you think maybe the composer's head got a little big?
I feel like the composer's head maybe got a little big because of that, and then he started pushing back on the director. Well, I want to do it this way, and he's like, well, that's not good for this scene, and then they're going back and forth. I feel like that's what happened.
I do think that does, from what I remember, I think that is kind of a little bit of what happened.
Because like first season comes out and literally everybody's talking about the song.
Yeah.
And then the second season, like, oh, this is even better than the first season.
And it's so funny because like you don't love it at first usually, but then it just like grows on you and you're like.
This past season was like really good. Like the further we got into it, because I started to pick up on like, I don't know, it felt like it was some Carpenter vibes. It felt like he was channeling a little John Carpenter stuff from like Escape from New York and The Fog.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like he was doing some really creative stuff with the score this season.
Yeah, I feel like I skipped the theme song a lot this time.
You did. I'm just talking about the general score of the whole show.
Yeah. It's always very good. I mean, yeah, it's very good. So anyway, there you go. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I mean it is very.
I don't think they can replace that guy.
It's pretty.
But I have an idea. Just get John Carpenter to do it. He's still making music.
Yeah.
The Oscars finally adds a Best Stunt Design award for 2027. This is interesting.
It is, because why is it going to take them so long to add it?
I don't know. I heard an argument a long time ago, and I kind of agreed with it. They're like, if you add a Best Stunt, award, then it's almost like you're going to make them try to up the ante with the stunts and do more like crazy, insane stuff, and that is kind of dangerous. So that was always like the pushback on that award.
Gotcha.
It's like, let's go super crazy with the stunts. Let's have more of our actual actors do their own stunts, like Tom Cruise
is going to be one to,
or you'll have more actors like wanting to do their own stunts.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like that could maybe be open for. So as long as like they can regulate themselves and not be focused on, oh, we're going to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like, because we have all the Oscar movies with people like trying to win awards and stuff like that for performances come out at the end of the year. Can you imagine like the Oscar stunt movie? Like we just want to win the Oscar for best stunt. Like that's why this movie exists. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
As long as it happens organically and they're not focused on that when they're making the movie, then it's good to have recognition for that aspect of movies. And you're going to get more mainstream movies in there because of that too. So
I'm just wondering though, like, are there other categories that aren't covered still?
I just can't think of any.
I mean, we have the actors, we have the I
know that was the last
music, right?
Yeah, music.
We have music,
best score,
best director,
best sound mix. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like is stuntmen really the last thing to be covered? I feel like there might be some other things missing. I don't know.
Best group of extras,
right?
Something like that.
Best extra. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I did read because I'm like 2027. Like, why can't they start next year or whatever?
Because we're already in the 2026 season. Like we're already 4 months into what's going to be considered for Oscars next year. So I guess they want to have an even playing field for everybody.
Okay. So that's it. What else we got?
All right. Let us know what you guys think about that, though, in the comments.
Or any of what we've talked about.
Or any of what we talked about.
All right. This one's very interesting. So Warner Brothers confirms a new Gremlins movie and another Beetlejuice sequel is in the works, which we kind of figured another Beetlejuice movie would be coming because didn't it do pretty good? So I know people say if you don't call it Beetlejuice, we riot. Me and
but
Ken,
they can't. They'll come out.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Me and Ken did not like Beetlejuice, like at all. Like
I hated it.
You hated it more than I did. I didn't like hate it, but I
could have got a free copy from Warner Brothers and I didn't get it.
Yeah,
I turned it down.
We didn't love it, which was unfortunate because we love the original. But I don't know. I mean, I'll still watch Beetlejuice 3 because maybe he can like turn it around and
I'm
make it
interested to see if he can potentially bounce back,
make it
but
better
I
than
don't
the
know.
second one was. It just went too silly for me. I don't know. But as far as the new Gremlins goes, like I'm here for it. I just hope
It
that
could
they
work.
do. I hope that they do like practical effects.
They have to. If they do any CGI, I mean, naturally, it's a modern movie. There's going to be a little CGI here and there.
Yeah.
But if they do the Gremlin CGI, like that's
No, out.
that's
Done.
not going to. It's going to go over like a fart in church,
Okay.
as I like to say.
But yeah,
Nobody's
I mean,
going to go see that. It has to be all practical.
yeah, Gremlins is great. So I think that if they could give us some like real good,
Take it back to Christmas. You know, take it back to I think it's Kingston Falls.
no, we don't
That's
need
the
to
town.
like repeat.
Take it back to Christmas. We need another iconic, Christmas movie. Okay, you don't have to
No,
do
it
Christmas,
doesn't have to
but
be Christmas.
you got to get Zach Galligan back. You have to.
You think?
I feel like.
You think?
I feel like.
I don't know.
Maybe not Phoebe Cates, but also it feels like you kind of need her too. I don't even know if either of them still acts.
Babe, they could be dead for all you know.
I honestly I've
Not that
talked
they're
about
old,
actors
but
and
like
directors that have been dead for 15 years, like they're still alive before. So
yeah,
no, that I'm pretty sure Zach Galligan is still alive, and I'm pretty sure Phoebe Cates is still alive.
yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I think it'd be cool if we could get somebody who's like really good with the practical effects. Like The Substance, like those practical effects were great.
Yeah, could be cool.
And so,
and it all comes down to the look of Gizmo.
mm-hmm.
He has to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, you cannot have a CGI Gizmo.
And like, who did Gremlins?
Direction, Joe Dante.
Is he alive or no?
I'm not confident enough to answer. I'm pretty sure he's not.
Okay.
Because he's been directing since the 70s.
I'm just wondering, like, can anybody that worked on the other ones come back to work on this movie?
I don't know, but I mean, I don't know if you need to. There's so many people nowadays with talent that could pull it off.
Yeah.
But, I'm curious if Joe Dante's still alive. I don't think he is. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
But I don't think he's directing anything nowadays.
Okay.
So
yeah, this interests me for sure. All right, what else we got?
All right.
Concentrate.
Let's see. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Images. You got Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. and they're back.
They are back. Yeah. So we know we're getting the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. It is a reboot, right?
It is a reboot.
It's considered a reboot. I've talked about this before. I Know You Did Last Summer was like I do remember like watching it when I was younger. I remember my mom watching it. It's funny because when I have these like flashbacks in my head of being younger, like maybe Ellie's age or something, which she's 10, which you'll have to do the math for me. Like when I was 10, how old would my mom have been? Me and my mom are only like 17 years apart.
27.
Oh, well, that might be right. I don't know. I'm trying to think though, because I just have these like, I can remember my mom watching movies that were like not appropriate for me. Like, and my mom, my mom's always loved like scary movies too. You guys like always used to bond about that. But like, I remember her watching like American Pie and her not wanting me to see it. But I would like try to like peek out the door and stuff. I remember her watching that. I remember her watching Scream. I remember her watching this movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And so I don't know if that like computes as far as like, I'm just saying like, was she like close to the age that I am now, I'm wondering, or would that not compute?
She would have been younger.
She would have been even younger.
10 years younger.
Yeah.
Was your mom born in 70?
She was born in 70.
Yeah, so she would have been 10 years younger.
So like, when did I Know You Did Last Summer come out?
1997. She would have been 27. You have the right memory of you being 10.
Okay. So yeah, it's just really interesting. Like,
yeah, by the time it came to TV, it might have been 98.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. So anyway, this one was not.
Think of all the crazy stuff our kids are going to remember us watching.
Right. Yeah. Terrifier.
Well, I don't watch Terrifier in front of him, but also our son's seen Terrifier over at his friend's house.
But yeah, this one was never like one of my favorites. I know you said that you like it and that's grown on you.
I like it more now than I did when it came out.
Yeah.
I just saw it as a cheap Scream knockoff when it came out. But now I appreciate it because it does some things differently, and I like it. But it's the same writer as Scream. Kevin Williamson wrote it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to describe it. I don't know. I always felt like it was a bit generic.
The funny thing is he wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer before Scream.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not a knockoff at all, really. It's its own thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I'd like it more if I rewatched it. But anyway, so there you go. They're going to be back for their little, 5-10 minute cameos.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
We also got another Orphan coming.
Orphan.
Isabel Fuhrman teases Orphan 3. Wilder
and crazier.
I mean, I'm down. I like the first one. I like the second one, which was a prequel, right? Wasn't the second one a prequel?
Yeah, so the second one didn't quite land for me as much as the first one did.
First one was cool.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be down for another one, especially if they make it on streaming.
I'm interested
to watch. All right, and lastly, we're getting another Happy Death Day movie. Happy Death Day 3 is finally moving forward. The last Happy Death Day movie came out in 2019.
Yeah.
First one, 2017. And I think they both made enough money to warrant a third one, but just for some reason they didn't do it.
Yeah, this article talks about that, how fans were asking like why it's taken so long, because apparently they did do quite well in the theater.
Yeah. Because the director of both of these movies just had a movie come out in theaters, The Drop.
Yeah.
It's the same director.
Which I do want to see, even though it looks a little.
And he also did Freaky with Vince Vaughn. So that was almost like his Happy Death Day 3.
Right.
It was kind of similar.
Yeah, so I didn't like Happy Death Day 2 as much as I did Happy Death Day. No. But maybe they'll do something different. And
yeah, I mean, they'll switch up the genre. I just hope they go back to a more like horror tone like the first one.
Yeah.
Because the sci-fi comedy stuff they were trying with the second one, I just don't think worked.
They had like a time machine type thing.
Yeah.
And then they kept like doing like these.
Too out there.
They kept like doing the like loop. Like it was like kept happening over and over. And it's like, it was just like one of those things where you're like, okay, are you like done yet? And they just like kept doing it. And like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was like, I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, but it was like,
we saw it in the theaters and we're excited because we enjoyed the first one. And yeah, it was
disappointing.
Not that good.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
I did, if you want to bring us back in full screen. So this is, I just wanted to like quickly talk about this real quick. This isn't just so I can like talk about it to someone if anybody out there has watched it. This isn't anything that me and Ken have watched together, but I've said before that I work from home and I'm fortunate that I can actually like have stuff playing while I'm working. I'm not on the phone or anything. And so I watch a lot of stuff, a lot of YouTube and a lot of like, try to watch some shows that I don't think Ken would want to see. And so I can't even remember if I've told you this, but I started watching, I have 2 shows on Hulu that I'm currently watching. And one of them is called, I think it's called The American Family or A American Family. Now I got to look it up. But it's got the guy from Creep in it. What's his name?
Mark Duplass.
Yeah, he's in it. He plays the dad. And it's got Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy.
Old school.
Huh?
She was in it. That's what I know.
I gotta look this up though to make sure that I'm saying it right. Really? How's it not gonna be on there?
God, be more prepared.
Okay, here we go. Good American Family. Okay, so it's based on a true story, and basically they adopt this dwarf. Okay, and they find out that it's like orphan. Okay, they find out that she's like 22 years old, but she's trying to act like a kid.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, she came here like from another country, and like I said, because she's a dwarf, she somehow like got people to think that she was a child, and so she gets adopted by them, and she like it's kind of like it kind of goes a little like scary, like to where she's like trying to hurt them and like kill them and stuff. She like tries to poison Ellen's drink, and I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty enjoyable. And they're doing like the week by week releases, so I can't like binge it. But I kind of like it when they go a little old school, and do the week by week releases.
More are doing that nowadays.
Yeah, I kind of like it because it gives you something to look forward to. And
Netflix isn't following that as much.
Yeah.
But the other streaming services are.
Yeah, I do kind of enjoy that, I think. Because we're like in this society now where we just like want everything right now. We want to binge it. But like I kind of like the weekly thing. So anyway, I'm currently watching that. I think I've watched, there's been like 5 episodes maybe. So yeah, pretty good. They're like an hour long. And then the other one that I just started watching is called Dying for Sex. And I kept seeing this one pop up. It has Michelle. Oh my God, what's her name?
You said Williams when you told me about it.
No, she was married to Michelle Williams. That's her name. Yeah.
I said that.
You said that though, like I was wrong or something.
I just said you said Williams. I didn't know.
So Michelle Williams is in it, right?
Okay.
You remember seeing like ads for that? So it's called Dying for Sex. I kept seeing it pop up, and I'm like, what is this? And so I looked it up, and like it did have like good reviews. People said it was like funny, but also like whatever. But it's basically about Michelle Williams' character. She basically, you find out that she had breast cancer at one point, and she beat it, right? Well, then like 2 years later, flash forward 2 years later, she goes in because her hip's hurting or something, and she finds out that she has cancer again, but this time it's terminal. It's like spread to her bones. So, it sounds like a very dark show, and it kind of is, but like they take this like light approach to it. But for whatever reason, she just like becomes like super horny. And she wants to just like start experimenting, and like she's always had, this is getting a little like maybe R-rated, I don't know, PG-13. I don't know if I need to say that, but she like has trouble like having orgasms and stuff. And so anyway, it's just like her like trying to get that to happen before she dies, essentially. And so I don't know, I'm enjoying it. It's probably more of like a chick show.
Yeah.
But they're like short episodes. They're like 30 minutes, I want to say. But yeah, I'm liking it. And I think I'm almost done with it. I think it was like a mini series. I don't think there'll be more, because from what I've heard, she dies in the last episode.
Well, yeah, unless it's a new character with a different terminal disease.
So it's just it's one of those kind of shows, like I said, where they take something dark and try to add some humor to it. And I'm enjoying it. Michelle Williams, she's pretty good. I don't know.
A lot of people would say she's great.
You watched her in Dawson's Creek, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I also love.
Doesn't she die in Dawson's Creek too?
I feel like she did.
Yeah, she's
she did. I wasn't like an avid Dawson's Creek watcher. I just kind of watched it in passing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like her and Kristen Dunst in a movie called Dick.
Yeah.
Which I would love to rewatch.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
That was like a 1998 movie. But yeah, she's a good actress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that if anybody out there is watching that, they're probably not, but.
Yeah.
But I'm getting good use of our Hulu subscription.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's a good thing.
There are lots of ads though. We don't have the ad free, so it sucks. But
we're at the end. We went an hour and 10 minutes almost. This is going to be an extra long podcast, which I think is fitting since we went a couple of weeks without doing one.
Mm-hmm.
So
we've had an hour one before.
That'll be good for the people out there to consume.
Yeah. For the people
hopefully enjoy
Married with Media withdrawals.
Yeah. We need to get a video out there at some point soon, probably.
Yeah, but thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, rate, all the things, that you're supposed to tell people to do so that you can get out there in the algorithms, those damn algorithms that we can't seem to.
We're trying to hit them, but we can't.
Yeah. But we'll be back next week. We're hoping, right?
We are hoping.
And yeah, maybe we'll have some videos coming out this week, and we will talk to you guys real soon.
See you guys later.